All right, we're going live. What's up, everybody? I apologize for the weird countdown. This morning, like, most of the time when I set up the stream, because I use the same setup, computer, cameras, like, it works. Today was not one of those days. But anyways, I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the first stream of August. I apologize last week for anyone that isn't in the Discord or didn't see it. It was a rough week. Aaron wasn't feeling that hot because of the pregnancy on like Monday to Tuesday, and then Tuesday Jackson got a fever, and to try to let Aaron rest a little bit, I was with him and then up all night long, pretty much for the entirety of the night. I think I slept in his bed to finally try to get him to sleep a little bit, and then I was just exhausted, and I was helping him out Wednesday, and then I caught whatever he had. And I was sick like Wednesday night to Thursday to Friday, so I couldn't stream as much as I wanted to. So we are going to be continuing today with this little printer called the Venture XL. I came out this morning to try to prep some of the parts for the build, which I'll go over in a little bit. And I ran into some issues with the computer. I ran into some issues with parts for the build, basically some things not being very clear and some things where like there's clearly missing pieces. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see who's all here today. We've got Hobo's in the house. Lisa's here. Da Vinci, Tuxedo, Greenbeard, Huge Dino. How's it going? Queasy Diver, Shrimp Father's here. Lord Git. Who else? Maker Viking. How's it going? Hope everybody is doing awesome. Yeah. I'm here. I'm excited to be streaming. Quick story time. We always gotta do a quick story time. So, right after 2 weeks ago stream, I was like, all right, it's freaking hot out here, and I'm gonna be out here for probably at least another month and a half. And the game plan long term is to get a mini split installed right here. Like all this stuff will go into an eventual shed, and this will be printer stuff. And the plan is mini split here with like the box for the mini split outside of this wall. But the issue is, like, one, I got to get electrical done for that. We need a 220 hookup with like the AC fuse disconnect thing, the AC box outside. And then two, cost. Like, it's just for the electrical work and the box itself, like it will be a couple to a few $1,000s. And so we were at Costco buying a few things, and I happened to see that they had a portable AC unit for sale. And it was on sale for like 260 bucks, and I was like, all right, it's hard for me not to grab this right now at that price. And so I did. I got it home and was very excited to cool out the garage, and it just is not gonna work. It tripped the circuit like instantly, which was a big issue in itself. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just run it from the dedicated circuit. What did I have? I think it's just a 15 amp, but like I do have a dedicated circuit on this side of the garage. But there's like big stickers on it that says no extension cables. And I'm like, well, I need it to be over here, like the unit, not over there, to be able to route the two big tubes out of it. So I was really disappointed. I tried to think of creative ways I could make it work, but I ended up taking it back. So we do not have AC. No, I am live. The stream did weird stuff. I ended up delaying the stream last week, thinking that I would just be able to use the same link this stream. But then when I tried grabbing chat from it, it was giving me errors. And then I saw in the Discord link that someone asked if there was a stream today. So somehow, by delaying the stream, even though I did it through YouTube, it completely like broke the initial link, and it did weird things. That's why we started the countdown timer 2 minutes late today. Was even OBS was tripping out trying to grab the stream link, but it was trying to pair it with the stream that was supposed to be last week that ended up breaking. So anyways, I think everything should be working now. Hey Maurice, so quickly here, let me run through like what the game... You're supposed to be sleeping. You're supposed to be sleeping, dude. We got a diaper boy out here today. You can say hi really quick, then you gotta go tonight. Hey, when you wake up from your nap, you can come say hi again, okay? You gotta go lay down for a little bit. What's that? Your eyes, is it bright? Are you feeling better? You're not sick anymore? Yeah, you're not sick. You are sick. I don't think so. Okay, you gotta go lay down for a little bit, and I'll see you when you wake up. When you wake up, come say hi, okay? Bye-bye, baby. No, don't stand on that. It's Daddy's printer stuff. He's supposed to be napping. Man, what was I saying? Yeah, let's really quickly run through like what the game plan is / was and things I ran into, and then we'll go from there. So we finished last... What? Side camera's not working? Hold on. Probably because I don't have it powered on. It's crazy what happens when you power things on that are supposed to be on. Let's see. There we go. All right, so let's go to here though. That wasn't even what I wanted to show. So last week we finished the Z motor and Z tension assembly. This week the plan was gantry components. I took the quartz slab back upstairs. So the game plan was we would basically do like all of the different assemblies, and then off stream I would assemble the extrusions and put it back on. But the issue I quickly ran into is on this part here, so the motor mount, the piece calls for, I think this is for both of them perhaps. These images mean like nothing. Like these images are so confusing. Like all these things look the exact same. I mean, relative, right? Like, are these bolts? Are these look like bearings? Is this a shim? Like, it just, I don't know. But looking at this exploding diagram that doesn't explode at nearly high enough resolution, it looks like there is a shim or a washer, a washer, a washer, and a washer. So 4 washers. So that would be 4 washers there, plus 4 out washers for the other one. That puts us at 8 washers. And then when we go down to the XY joints, we have 2 more washers per, is what it looks like. So that's what? 8 washers plus 2 plus 2, that is math, 12 washers. Well, I looked through this. I looked through this whole kit. I spent like an hour this morning just kind of going through it. Let me turn on autofocus here. And the only, what is happening? Oh, I have the wrong, dang. Okay, I'm going to, you guys are gonna hear me but not see me for a second here. I just realized I didn't swap lenses out, so I don't have a lens where I can actually, here, let me put you guys on desktop really quick. I gotta swap lenses. I need the zoom lens for the close-up one. Bear with me. You guys should still be able to hear me. That means that we're gonna be really far back with this camera, so that's okay. I mean, it's just the kind of face overview cam. Let's see. It's been one of those mornings. Okay. So is this one back? Yeah, this one's gonna be really far out now because I didn't, wow, that is so far out. You can even see like the workout equipment over there. We'll do zoomed view, like, yeah, when we're doing this. Well, I didn't plan for that. Anyways, let's go over here. So we need 12 of those M5 washers. These are the only washers I can find that are in this kit right now. And we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're short 6 of them. So I ran around kind of like a crazy person, ended up finding, I actually ended up finding a bag from another build. The issue is the tolerances on the ones that I bought. Hey, Steve. Hey, Green. We can see the whole printer. Yeah, here you go. There's the whole entire printer. You've got this as like a little workout corner over here. This is where I did all the seed starting, is like in this weird cutout, because this is where the stairs are to the upstairs studio / my office. And so it's like this not quite Harry Potter room cutout thing, but it's kind of nice. It's, the ceiling is mostly slanted down, but it's just enough room for like a little workout thing and playing plant station. So anyways, I ran around and ended up finding out that I had some M5 spacers. The issue, there should be more washers in the missing parts kit. So the missing parts kit is the only kit that came with any washers at all, LTX. Unless you know where the washers are and they didn't come with the rest of the hardware. But yeah, this was the missing parts kit. And the only washers I've seen, they're M5, outside of these little like compression washers, which don't make any sense for motion. I haven't seen any other washers at all. And I've looked, I feel like at this point, confidently everywhere. Again, unless there's been little spiders all over the garage. Unless they are completely in a different box other than like, oh wait, okay, so I'm sorry. That was the hardware bag. This was the bag that came with the extra parts, and this is the only washers that I saw, which was the bag I just showed off. I haven't seen any other washers anywhere. And like I said, I've gone through just about everything. Unless they're in like a random box that it wouldn't make sense for them to be in. I mean, I'm happy to look again. I took out, let me see. So I know that in the other box, it's just CNC parts and I think bed parts. We got, let's see. Yeah, bed parts, cast, what does this say? Constant temperature, a soldering iron. You can't give you a soldering iron with this kit? I didn't even realize that. So yeah, CNC parts, bed parts, these are all panel parts. So the only other place that they could be would have been in this box. And this box has electronics, casters, power cable. These all look like heat insulation things, and then some standoffs for the bed. We'll drop those. Okay, that's empty. This was hot end, which I doubt it would be in the hot end, but I mean, I can do a quick look. This is, nope, just hot end stuff. Assorted electronics. These are fans, PTFEs. Yeah, I think that my box was just missing washers, like a bag of washers. And I feel pretty confident about that. Yeah, driver stuff. I feel pretty confident that I didn't lose it because that's how it's been since the beginning of this build. So I ended up finding that I had some M5 washers from another build. The tolerances on them are pretty bad. I went through and sorted the closest ones I could find. So I think that the ones in this kit are 0.9 millimeters thick. Hey, Ted. Okay, even the ones in this kit have pretty bad tolerances, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. This is 1.01. 0.95. Okay, so I feel a little bit better about my crappy ones because these are 0.98. These are certainly not very precise. 0.92. So yeah, this is about what I found. The only issue is that my washers are slightly wider, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So hopefully we're going to be okay. The other downside is if you guys remember 2 weeks ago, I finally got the CAD open, but it took like 2 hours because of the size of it. Well, I had to close it because I had to reboot the computer right before the stream because I was having issues with the iPad connecting as a secondary monitor. So we won't have CAD. Like this is what we've got today. So as long as I'm not using them as shim, tolerances don't matter. Well, yeah, I mean, we're using them as spacers between the bearing stacks, and I don't know. I mean, like the good news is that the spread between them is like no more than 0.1 of a millimeter, which is, in my opinion, not substantial, hopefully. So I think we'll be okay. But I'm just glad that I ended up having some extra ones. So the unfortunate thing is, like I said, I don't have CAD. I don't have CAD access today, and for whatever reasoning, the resolution on the images that they have in their guide is not great. So we are going to do our absolute best to build things, and I have a feeling I will be quite slow today, which is probably nothing out of the ordinary, just because, like I said, I have to go based off these really small images, so it'll be chill. It'll be a chill stream. So we are starting with this piece, and then we need, it looks like, this piece, maybe. So M5 is on this side. Okay, let me find, I did take out hardware, but like there is so much different hardware for this build that it didn't help a whole lot. So let's start with M5 18s. M5, okay, I thought I took out all the hardware. M3, M5 12. Okay, did I lie or did I just move it? M5 18, okay. Hey, Sniper. Okay, so these are going into just peanuts. So we will place this guy like this, place this through here. Jeez. We are getting closer to the due date. We are officially 31 days out, and that is if baby goes full term, but based off of everything, we don't think that's gonna happen. So we'll see how many more streams there are before baby's here. It's the right size. Of course it's not. There we go. There we go. Big day, yeah, big day is coming soon. Erin is certainly over being pregnant. It's been a pretty rough pregnancy, and we had an ultrasound about, I think, 2.5 weeks ago now, and I don't think I saw you guys after, but I don't think I talked about it. And the baby at that point was in the 99th percentile as far as weight goes. So we definitely have some concerns surrounding that data point. The final ultrasound is next week, I think on Monday, maybe. So based off what comes from that, we'll see kind of what the game plan is. Due dates are even more, yeah, Jackson came a month early, so the doctor said because of that, on our first, the chances of the second one coming early is pretty dang high. Hey Raj, I was a 9-pound baby. Dang, I have no idea what I was. I know, like, the only things I know about the pregnancies for me and my brother was that I stopped breathing after I was born and turned blue, and I had to go to the NICU for quite a while. I don't know if it was a week or how long after I was born. I don't remember what they said the cause was either, but that was my thing. And then for my brother, I remember we were at SeaWorld, and my mom was at home alone, and I don't think she was able to get a hold of us, and the neighbor had to drive her, or our babysitter had to drive her to the hospital, and my brother basically came out and was born before the doctor even was in the room, so that was wild. Trying to figure out what parts of this actually matter as far as order of, like, I really wish they had more of a step-by-step. The motor will go on last, which I'm fine with, but just looking at this, like, so the M340s are for the motor, and the M38 looks like it's for the, okay, so M38 flathead is gonna be for this bearing stack. So M38 flathead is for bearing stack. And we need I really don't like this. So it looks like there's a number 3, 3 number 6s, and a number 2. So number 3, 3 number 6s, and a number 2. So, oh man. I don't know what the difference is. So there's 3 of these, so I'm gonna assume that's that. We'll see. So this has to be smaller than 5 millimeters because the bearings have to slide onto this and the washer needs to go over it as well. So let's see, does this work? Certainly does not. That cannot be the right one. So it must be this little guy. The image is awful. It really is. The Protestant scene in Monty Python's Meaning of Life. The lady drops baby while doing the dishes. I don't know that. Okay, so this must be... I'm gonna... All right, let's do a quick check. So it does slide over that. These... Where's my calipers? Over there. This one already checked, so yeah, 6 millimeters is a no-go. Let me just put these back together. That way I don't have to remeasure every single one because I know everything in the bag. These, I'm gonna measure it through the bag, but this looks too wide as well. Yeah, 6 mil as well. I think it has to be what I just grabbed. We'll check these ones. Yeah, it has to be the one I just grabbed. So it's gonna be this. And it looks like... At least if the image was like 4 times the size and you can get in closer, it would help. But I mean, like, this is as close as you can get. That is just a cluster of fairly low pixels. But it looks like we need, yeah, M38 flathead. And it looks like that's going through this corner hole right here. So M38 flathead, that's this guy. Drops doesn't give birth, tells the doctor, will you get that? The only Monty Python one I've seen, is it the Holy Grail? The one with the coconuts where like they're riding around or like, just but a scratch. That's the only one I've seen. I didn't grow up with any of them. My best friend that I lived with for some years, his dad was a big Monty Python fan, and so he showed me the Holy Grail, and I quite enjoyed it. Okay, so this is going in, like I said, to, yes, this guy right here. Let's go ahead and just thread this piece on. It feels nice to be streaming again. I really didn't want to miss last week, but it was, I had to. I had to. Jack needed help, I needed help. Like, we were all just, it was rough. But because we only stream once a week, every time I miss a stream, it always feels really weird. You know what? I'm gonna be tightening against this in a little bit, so we can just leave it like that. Okay, so let's just try to think about how I want to do this. I think I'll do 2 black shims. Like, so on the outside, we'll do black or spacer. Is that bent? No, I don't think so. And then we've got 2 bearings. Let's grab these bearings. Hey, Benny. Hey, Hunter. Hey, Kenneth. A lot of people showing up right now. The Holy Grail is my favorite Monty Python movie. Okay, good. Well, at least the one, that means the one I've seen is up there. I showed Erin it. She hadn't seen it either. We probably just watched it in the last, I want to say 12 months, roughly. And she's referenced it a couple times. Okay, so we got bearing. And then we'll do another one of the black. This seems off to me. Is this supposed to float that heavily? I would think that this would probably like fill most of the... I would think that this would fill most of the shaft, but it doesn't. looks like I did it right. I mean, I'm looking at this here and I see shim. Is there a third bearing maybe? I think there's a third bearing. Did I screw that up? No, on the other ones, I did it right. So there's a third bearing. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. I was to say that's way too much slop. Here we go. Let's put these bearings in. I want to get a Tesla coil right now. I don't know why. The Lightning just looks tasty. When the baby is born, don't let them cut the umbilical cord right away. Wait until it's translucent color so the baby gets all the nutrients from it. I will try to remember that. Okay, this is way closer to what I was expecting. The issue now, though, is that there's not enough, there's no space left for this shim. Okay, that will be interesting. I'm just trying, I'm trying to figure out, one more time, all the things that need to go on one side before I put the other side on. I think it's just the standoffs. Like, the T-nuts, I would think I could probably add after. Not that I should. Maybe I'm screwing up. Maybe I should put all the T-nuts on first. Yeah, okay, let's do that here. We can leave. Let's do all T-nuts. We need a number 2, which I'm assuming is this guy, because these are the only ones that look like this. Let's make sure that this can slide through here. Yeah, so that's definitely right. This one needs what? I cannot tell, but it looks like it's probably another M38 flathead. How's everybody's last 2 weeks been? Okay, so this is going in through, it's got to be through here. One thing I'm super excited about is that we found out Aaron's sister is going to be coming out to help us. So if the baby isn't here until really close to the due date, she'll actually be here for that, which will be awesome. And I'm really hoping that's the case because we could use help with someone watching Jack and the dogs. But we're basically just going to get her a one-way flight. She's going to come out with her 1.5-year-old and and just stay here as long as she wants. So I'm very excited to have family helping out. The dad of the mom with the birth says, we'll have to sell you kids for medical experiences. They have that many kids. It's a funny movie, the fat guy scene, but it's just a wafer mint. You got this, you can do it, give it your all. Thank you, Hunter. Okay, so we've got those two on. For these other ones, these 3, which have to probably be the one that has 6 of them. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Are these threaded or are these not threaded? They are not threaded. Okay, so these are the motor. Got it. Okay, so these are where the motor mounts go through, which I think I can slide on after. I'm pretty sure that's what we did last time. I don't know. This thing has screws going in it that way, which is interesting. So let's do these on the bottom. So this is just it looks like 2 M312 or M512 button heads. M512s. They've been good. Most of it has been gone working on Tinker Atlas. So nice. Any big updates or things in specific that you're excited about? Been potty training my kid so she can go to preschool next month. She's picked it up. That's awesome. How old is your kid, Hobo? My plan was to have Jackson potty trained before the baby was here, and I thought for sure by like 2.5 he would be, and it seemed like you're making progress, and then all of a sudden, like, I feel like we've reverted almost. He just doesn't care anymore. Like, he's fine with pee in his diaper, and like he just won't do his thing anymore. So I'm like, well, there's that. We also ended up canceling swim. I don't think I told you guys that, but okay, 3 in a few months. Well, that makes me feel good then. We've got time as well. I don't know what's like normal, or like if there is a considered normal for that. So that's gotta be a really good feeling though. So maybe Jack just isn't ready. But yeah, we stopped doing swim. I took over for Erin because she just was too far along in the pregnancy, and Jack was a little bit too ratty, and it became too much. So me and him did swim for like 2 weeks, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. And then he had one day where he like was kind of being weird and wanted to go and like wanted to leave early, but I was able to kind of make it through with him. And the following week, he just had one of the biggest meltdowns I've ever seen, where like I had to carry him out, like he was screaming, like I have no idea why, and that was awful. And then the following week, he what happened the following week? The following week, he was already starting to freak out before we even left here to go there. So I was like, all right, man, like if you don't want to swim right now, I'm not going to force it. Baby's almost here. Like, well, we'll take a break. He did really good for a couple months, and we'll revisit it, I guess, next swim season. So I need to eat a lemon. You sound like Jack. Hey, Rob, finally made it. Can't believe people actually expect me to work during streaming time. Finally had time to finish up some projects around the house. Nice. Congrats. That's a really good feel. What kind of stuff did you do? The projects tool is taking shape. The project, oh, cool. And the site is getting better and better too. The last few days I've been working mostly on making proper tests of the functions and fixing bugs. That's fun, dude. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty big passion project for you, so that's awesome. Okay, I think that's everything on this side. So let's grab the, so if I have this like this, this is the other side. That's the wrong one. This appears to be the right one. So let's do this. Okay, so we need M5 by 12s again. Those are not, did I not put the right size screw on this one either? No, I think I did. Let's see, let me verify. Yeah, I can't go shorter than that. What am I saying? If I go shorter than that, then it won't be long enough to actually reach. Hey, Emperor. Thanks for subbing. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Mike. He didn't have all his toys around him. Yeah, I guess so. The week that he freaked out, or maybe it was the week before he freaked out, where he was kind of being a little bit weird. The swim instructor was super cool and like brought out a bunch of toys for him. And then he got a little weird, like he like got a little weird and kind of like possessive of the toys, where like another kid went to go get one and Jack was like mine. And we've been starting to see a little bit of, like, he's always been a good sharer, but that seems to slightly be changing. And what was I gonna say? We're nervous about what that means for when baby comes, because we were excited, like Jack had always been such a good sharer, but now it's just like, what's happening? Andrew, thank you so much for the donation for the You're Gonna Need a Bigger Printer Fund. Cheers, man. You built one of those big, like, Sam Prentice scooters, right, Andrew? Okay, so this says M5 12 button head as well. Yeah, it's like stuff like this, right? Like, if I had the CAD available, but so this says M512 very clearly, which I'm not sure if that's accurate because I'm looking at this and not entirely sure that it'll fit through there. But then on the other side of it, this says M5 washer. That to me looks like an M5 T-nut. And probably 2 of them at that, so I think that's a typo. But I don't even think an M512, we'll try it. I don't think that'll fit through here. There's no, yeah, this isn't gonna work. Okay. Unless I'm doing something wrong, but I mean, this is an M512, which is what we've been using on the other side. But put it through here, pops in there, like it doesn't even pop through. So we can try an M518 and see if that will do the trick. I don't know that it will. I've seen them for quite a while, and I'm like really interested in building one for Jack. Do you think it's sort of kid safe, like if he's parent supervised, or is it just not kid safe? I've only seen adults riding around on them, so that's kind of where my question's stemming from. I hope Jack finds his way to liking swimming. I didn't learn to swim until late in life, and that made me lose opportunities. Yeah, I mean, I'm big on, okay, that might work. So I'm gonna go with, it's probably supposed to be an M518 and hope that that's right. I have been big on swimming. I've become such a chicken. I don't know what's happened in life, but like I used to swim in pretty cold water in the ocean without like any issues, and now like since we moved out here, like dip my toes and ankles in the water, I'm like, oh, that's cold, and then and then haven't really done a whole lot of swimming. I don't know, that seems I don't know if this is gonna work. CAD shows M5, but okay, thank you. Am I putting this in the wrong way? Perhaps. I don't think it would matter. No, it shouldn't matter. I am hoping that this will work. Okay, well, we'll leave it for now. I'm gonna tighten it just a hair. It's gonna need to be loosened before I actually put it on, but it only threads on like 1.5 turns, so I don't want it to fall off. So we'll see. That's interesting. But yeah, I've gotten quite a bit more chicken with water for some reason, is what I'm getting at. And I love generally water, and like we have an inflatable kayak, and the plan is, now that we have the bigger car, eventually to get roof racks so we can get a kayak. So yeah, like I want to be able to do swimming stuff. So swimming is something I really, for the sake of being able to take Jack places and safety for him, really more than anything, want to get him into. I just don't want to traumatize him either. Like, it's the balancing act of, I think I've mentioned this before, but like he screams every time now he sees something fly and freaks out, and it's because of me. We had wasp nests in the backyard, and I was really trying to teach him, like, hey, stay away from the wasps, like, they're owie, like, you know, and now everything that flies, he screams. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, it's such a, it's such a tough balancing act of, like, trying to explain something, but not making it traumatizing, and I'm clearly not doing great at it. You can do a single motor version, and you'll likely have to program the ESCs to govern the top speed. Got it. What do you think it costs in total, Andrew? Like, not filament-wise, but hardware-wise outside of that. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it, man. Wait, you'll wake up and you'll have a pain for no reason, then it will stop if you're lucky. Oh, my thumb, man. I finally got scheduled for an MRI on my thumb. It's been 4 months, and my thumb is still hurting as bad as it has been. For me, it's the opposite path. I was afraid of water as a child and conquered my fear later in life when I realized I could actually float. Got it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't... there's no rule book, right? Like, I'm trying to figure everything out and do what's best, and there's a lot of things that are questionable as far as what's best. Living in Florida right off the Gulf, learning to swim and teaching my sons early was a necessity. Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of water around here. I mean, probably not as much, definitely not as much as Florida, but like, we do have a lot of water around here. There's a lot of lakes. My family's big on, my parents at least are very big on nature and outdoors. I want to take Jack camping eventually here, so it's got to happen. Kayaking is fun. We have one for everyone in the family. Yeah, we never kayaked in California. My parents had a canoe, and they do have actually kayaks that I never used. But when we moved out here, Aaron and me just got like an inflatable one, and we went on a couple of trips, and the inflatable one's okay. I don't feel like it doesn't float as well, and it doesn't glide quite as well with each push of the oar, or paddle, but it's still a lot of fun. So I think we're pretty close to being able to put the bearings on and sandwich the other half. The thing I'm uncertain of right now is, so we got those on, the M5 screws, got the M5 screws on, M5 screws, M5 screws, so we're good on that. The motor I'm going to be putting on after, and these little guys don't have threads, so I should be able to just slide them in place afterwards. So the main things will be bearing stack, and the thing that's confusing me right now is, what is this little piece right here? Well, it looks like I found one of them, but that's concerning as well because we probably need two, I would assume, unless we don't. Let me check on the second one. So this is this piece. Is there... Oh, you don't need it on the other one, so that is not concerning then. Okay. So this has, it looks like 2 screws that go through it. It doesn't show... That's so weird. So it shows M3/8 screws going into it, which are these guys. Finally use... What are these? These two... Oh, it must be these guys. M312s. Okay, so M312s go into it on both sides. So we do need to at least get one set of M312s on there. So M312s socket heads? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Have you seen the FoldCat 375? I have not heard of that before. Is this another one of those 5-minute builds? Yeah, more like try 5-month builds, bearded. I don't doubt that I will be 33 by the time we finish this. And that's like 2 months from now. I think we have some non-human guests. All right, we'll do the ultimate test for flanks. Flanks, what is 3 plus 2? That is our test. The big bearings and the motor controls make up the bulk of the cost. Okay, I didn't see what you put though for the cost. Okay, $600, gotcha. That thing is almost as big as my ego.
Scroll up a bit for my tiny bike response.
Did I miss more? No, I think I got it, right, Andrew? Afterwards. Thank you very much for the 49. I appreciate it. I just hit 37 yesterday. Nice, happy belated birthday, man. We'll do. We gotta do. Actually, we need. I don't think I need sound effects for Andrew either. Andrew, thank you so much for the donations. And then we'll do one more Hadouken for that belated happy birthday. Okay, so let's do this last piece. This last piece looks like it's going to be. Okay, am I crazy? Where? Oh, I guess this bolts on the other side? There's only... Wait, am I screwing up? No! No! I am screwing up. Oh no! I think that most of what I did is probably fine, but we're supposed to be using these pieces that are mirroring each other, that have this little standout piece. I didn't realize that. Okay, so let's quickly. That sucks. Let's quickly get these other pieces on. That's a bummer. But I think that both sides probably have similar parts that are going into it, so it's likely not a big issue or setback. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Okay, so M518 button heads.
You're a winner. Love seeing your stuff.
Bearded! You rock, man. Thank you so much. You're a winner. 3 plus 2. Alright. 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 Flanks, I have no idea now whether you're a bot or not. You're typing in ways that seem bottish, but you're also responding with things that make sense. Troy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, man. Cheers. Let's do... I need cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, let's go. So M518. M518 button, M318 socket. M518 button, M318 socket. No, I'm a bot. I'm Hunter's alt. I'm not a bot. I'm Hunter's alt. Got it. If you say to build a tiny bike, hit me up. I'll get you a good bomb and can guide you a bit. Okay, sounds good. I probably will have to wait till after baby is here, but like, if it's something that I think Jackson could play around with, like he would freaking love it. It'd just be, I don't know, it'd be a lot of fun. Can it handle asphalt? Hey, hon. Aaron is in the house. Okay, so these are done. Then on the other side, we just need M3 and M512s. These are both. So M312 button head. M312, nope, wait. M312 socket head and M512 button head. Reading is not easy sometimes. Okay, got this. Wait, that cannot be right. It's two M512s. Asphalt with a smaller rider, sure. The ride is really rough though. TPU doesn't cushion much. Got it. The filters block binary posts. Thank you, Troy. I know Aaron is absolutely hoping this last month goes by quick as well. I feel like we're pretty much as prepared as we're going to be at this point. Although it would be nice if baby did hold out until Auntie came out to just help out with everything. But aside from that, like, I do need to break down. Yeah, no, we're pretty much, I think, as ready as we're going to be. Okay, so we got these in place. The last thing will be then two M38 flatheads and the two standoffs. Yeah, he's 2.5. His birthday is March 5th? That sounds right. Hun, can you confirm her son's birthday is March 5th? Dates, I don't know why, like, my brain and dates, I always feel awful, but they don't, like, I can say it a million times and it doesn't sit right in, it just, I always get confused about dates and I don't know why. Yes, the 5th, cool, I got it. Nailed it. Where is this supposed to go? Okay, it must be like this. Okay. Where is... There should be one small... We need this. There we go. Got it. The altitude varies. The attitude fairy. I was like, the altitude fairy? I haven't heard of that one. The attitude fairy. Oh, come on. I can't. Oh, this isn't even the right thing. This is the right I need. His sharing things is pretty normal for that age. Yeah, he just, the word, he says like, mine. I'm like, it's not yours, bud. Like, he'll do that. Like, he'll grab one of our phones. I'm like, can you give daddy his phone back? Mine. He's not always like that. He's definitely not. But like, he didn't do that at all. And all of a sudden, I'm like, where's this coming from? I don't like this. We share things, bud. So you gotta share. Okay. All right, we're just about ready to put the halves on. Hey people, first time catching the stream. Hey Shadow Queen. Thank you so much for joining us. we're building a monster printer. By far the biggest printer I've ever built. Someone was asking me like, what do you plan on printing on a printer that big? And I said, I have no idea. Most of what I would like to print are like big Qforge paint things, or like, you know, I call them paint things, but it's like filament painting for Jackson's wall, which the X and Y on this thing is perfect for that, but I don't need a Monster Z, so I'll have to think of ideas that we can print on this big printer that hopefully I can either gift to someone or make sense to hold on to. Okay, so this is the piece we need. I can hear you from Shrimp Father's laptop. Nice. Terrible twos are real, but yeah, three nagers seem to be what we're hitting. Okay, so this looks like it just goes into the bottom of this piece. We are gonna need, is this the right part? Yay. Okay, so let's get this in here. Let's get this in here. Okay, so we're at the point now where we should be ready for these bearing stacks. I think. What was that? What just fell? Okay, let's make that a little bit tighter. I like Lapras. Lapras is a cool Pokemon. Hey, Collie! Scan your kids and print them. He would love that. Jackson, he's like really big. In the last video I did on testing out the, it wasn't the last video, maybe it was 2 ago, on testing out the Cobra S1. I printed out like a Mario Keyforge. Jack's obsessed with Mario, and then I printed out a Spider-Man bust. And like, normally I don't try to print like things with big IP on the channel. Not that it probably matters, but because I like to print things that aren't going to just be scrapped, functional obviously makes sense, but people like to see artsy stuff or like things with more organic detail. So try to find things that like Jack likes. And the Mario's up on his wall, and the Spider-Man bust that I made, even though it's not perfect, like it sits next to his bedside. He freaking loves it. Okay, so let's place this like this, and let's try this again. So here is our first stack, which is missing a shim. Let's see, let's drop that there. Please go on. Please, why are we stuck? There we go. There we go. Okay, so same issue with that shim, just not. I hope that's gonna be okay. Oh, oops. So this shaft, and I don't think I've added any additional, nope, everything should be fine. But the post for this is just not big enough. Like this bearing here is gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Hey, clown. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think we don't use, I'm pretty sure that for this bearing stack, we don't need a shim down here. I think it just rests against this. That kind of acts as a shim, and there's just a single shim up top. So let's roll with that. So this is gonna be, let's set this down like this, and that yeah, that's not gonna stay. Unless maybe I can wedge something. Here, let's put this right here. That's still not gonna do it. Okay, we'll figure it out in a second here. We need 2 of these. I love probably being the youngest here. You probably are the youngest. I think Edgy was the youngest for a long time. He's older now, but when he started hanging out, I want to say he was like 14, maybe. That was years ago. I think he's out of high school. Oh, nope, that's me being silly again. Where is the other bearing? Here we are. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, everyone, because like on this one, there's just enough space for that shim up top. Just barely. But on the other one, there is not. So am I using the wrong shaft? Am I using the wrong shaft? That is the question. Could this be the right shaft? I don't think I am using the right shaft. I don't believe that we measured them. I don't think any other ones can slide through the bearing. So I don't know. This is really funky. But yeah, there's just there's really no spot for this to sit onto. And we'll try it, I guess, but I really don't love that. So I'm assuming this is M3/8. Yes, it is. Let's just try it. I don't know what size driver I need for that. I think it's a 1.5 maybe. It's not, it's a 2. I assume this thing is not going to sit flat because of it. I'd love to be wrong. Love to be wrong. It's definitely not sitting flat. Or is it? Am I just nuts? Let's secure these. Okay, that's all spinning freely. Let's do this other side. I don't see how it could be sitting flat, but let's see. Let's see if I just go, so 26.22 approximately. Yeah, it's not. 25.8. So we're like 0.5 millimeter off. I don't know what I can do. I really don't know. I really don't know what to do. Hey Alan, hey Petty. So I'm gonna assume, let's take these off and measure, but the height must not be the same on these, or the height is the same. But it calls for 3 shims, so I have to use 3 shims. I mean, I guess it could be the difference in, I could use different shims. How many other silver shims do I have that they came with? So I got 4 more and I've used, yeah, I can't use those. I don't have enough, wait, 1, 2, 3, I could use those. So are these indeed the same height? I feel like they have to be. This is 25.79. This is... So yeah, 25.72. I mean, it's roughly the same. Okay, so really quickly, one more time, what's going on here is the shim is not sitting flush on here. And it's causing it where this piece now is at a slight slant across it because it sticks up higher here than here. So what I'm thinking about doing is using the silver spacers that came with here. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I use, let's see what happens if I use all silver on this side, which is what they would have included with the kit and not the ones I got. Let's check that out. So I definitely don't like the idea of it being at an angle. I see that causing issues. So let's take these two off. I have to use the spacers I have because they didn't include enough. But I can be a little bit more strategic, and maybe for these double stacks, which I think these are the only double stacks, if I'm not mistaken, maybe they just need to be the ones that came with the kit. So let's remove that. Let's put this on here like this. Okay. That did not help. That did not help. I don't get it. I'm at a loss at this point. So even with using theirs, the shaft just isn't long enough. So, okay, so here's the only other thing I can think of is because of when this is all on, it will be like this. And this side and this side are gonna have to be pretty much even because there's gonna be a 20/20 extrusion they're tight up against. So what I might be able to do at that point is loosen this one a couple of turns, right? And then tighten it down so that way it is flush. I don't know what else I can do. Like this is the CNC part that it came with. I'm gonna go back to what I was doing before because swapping this over didn't make any difference. Their spacers seem to be the exact same as mine thickness-wise. So let's do what my initial plan was. I don't know if does that make sense to anyone? Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, this there's no space up here for the shim. So when I throw the final shim on, it cannot tighten down as far as this side, because on this side, when I throw the bearings on, like so, we do have enough of a lip for the shim to sit on. So this one is up by, it's probably a millimeter difference or 0.9, maybe not exactly, but like it's definitely, the shims are roughly 0.9 to 1 millimeters thick. So that's our difference between the two right now. But I gotta move forward, and that's what we've got. And I don't have any ideas at this point about what I could do other than putting a fatter shim on here to make this one stand up more. That's another option, I suppose. Trying to read the diagram, I'm not sure there's a third shim. It looks to me like there is. Like I see a shim here. From what I'm seeing, I see a shim here on the base, a shim here between them, and then that looks like a shim to me as well. I couldn't see why there'd be a shim here and not here. And then on this one, there has to be has to be a shim. That little guy right there has to be a shim. Yeah, this is not, we're not gonna have CAD, so. So I think what I'll do for right now, hopefully these will be accessible once it's on the frame. I just won't over tighten these, anticipating I'm gonna have to loosen and reposition anyway. But yeah, the part is absolutely at a slight angle right now. I thought this first shim was a hole in the plate. Yeah, the CAD is not great. So yeah, right now it's wider here and goes a little bit skinnier here because the shim sticks out further. But I'm thinking that once this slots onto the 2020 and that slots onto the 2020, I can probably back off this, you know, a turn or whatever, which would make it a little, like, it would give it a little bit of play, but I don't foresee that being an issue. I think the belt would, I think that the belt would automatically, like, align itself with the one that can't be moved, the one that can float. CAD shows no shim under that bearing stack. Wait. Underneath this bearing stack? Let me see if I can. I'm closing. I don't have. Oh, wait. I think I just lost you guys. Hold on. I lost my monitor. There you go. Okay, you guys are back. So. Oh, no. Yeah. Under the single stack, there is none. Yeah. That's what I have. So I think, like I said, I think I got this right. This stack, like, you're up against a flat surface. There needs to be a shim. There's typically always at least a shim in between the two bearings, and there's a shim here. For this one, I don't have a shim underneath it, but I have a shim up here. If there was a shim underneath it, that would actually align these two. Which makes me wonder if it would be better to add a shim there, even if it's not necessary, just to align everything. One top, one mid, one bottom. Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is what I've got it right. Basically 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and then just one up top here. But yeah, it doesn't align. This shaft is too short to fit the final one up here, while on this one it fits the one perfectly. So it basically is going inward ever so slightly as it goes down. And there's nothing else I can do. There's really nothing else I can do. So we move forward and hope that it all works out in the end, I suppose. The shafts are the same length. Yeah, I did check that on here's the did they just forget a shim? I don't think, like, it makes sense that this one, where's it at? So it makes sense that this one wouldn't need a shim because the bearing, like, this kind of acts as a built-in shim on here. But I did measure the two because that was a thought of mine initially, was maybe these aren't the same height, but they did come back at the same height. So this is 25 point, let's call it 25.79 and 25 points. So yeah, they're identical. So it's definitely the shim. It's the shims that are causing it to not fit. But they only gave me one size M5 shim, which are approximately 1 mil. They're not very good tolerances. This one's 1.05. This one is, okay, 1.04. I mean, it's pretty close. This one is 0.98. So they're within, like, you know, a 10th, a 5 to 10% of each other. Just, it's odd to me. I don't know, maybe I'm getting hung up on it and it's not gonna matter in the end, but it feels odd to me. Like I said, I think that once I tighten this side down and this side down on the extrusion, if I loosen this one, it'll mean that this guy can float a little bit back and forth, but maybe that won't matter. Maybe it won't cause any issues, so. But it feels like, crap. It feels like it could have been designed better. So, we'll move on. Let me tighten this. I see CAD shows 6 shims there. Wait, 6 shims? There should only be 4. Should only be 4 shims. 3 shims here, and then 1 shim here, so 4. It sounds like a reason to get another 3D printer. Oh, 0.6 millimeter shims. Well, that would do it. 0.6 and 0.6, that would absolutely do it. They didn't provide any 0.6 shims. Yeah, their shims are 1 mil, but that would do it. So we're looking at 3 mil versus 0.6 and 0.6 versus 2 mil. So, I mean, I don't know, is it worth waiting and ordering the right shims? I don't know what the call is. Like, hey, GPs. GPs, all right, I'm gonna bounce something off you real quick since you're just getting here. So, this kit came with one size M5 shim. They're approximately 1 millimeter each. They were short by a lot on my kit, so I found my own shims, which are approximately that. Their width is not the same, but the height is. They're approximately 1 mil. The issue we're running into is on these bearing stacks, dude, these pieces keep falling off. Come on. Please. Hold on. Hold on, GPs. Okay, these are tight. They should not fall off. This one looks like it needs to be tightened. So I did find, like, I do have shims, the same kind of shims I found, right? So I have those. But the issue I'm running into is this, is that according to the instructions in the CAD, this is supposed to have 3 bearings or shims, right? So there's 1 on the base, 1 in the center on the double stack, and 1 on this side. And then on this single stack, there's only a single shim because this little standoff basically acts as a built-in shim. So there's just 1 here. However, when I get to the top of this and I put the top shim on, there's a tiny bit of the shaft that I'm able to put that shim onto. On this one, the shaft is completely flush with the edge of the bearing. So the shim is basically not on a center post or shaft at all, and it's just being held in place by this screw. So the issue is, because of that, this is slightly taller than this. And so as I tighten it, this piece now is at a slight angle. They're not parallel to each other. And with what they've given me, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do shim-wise. Someone just looked in the CAD and saw the CAD shims for this are 0.6 millimeters. And if they were 0.6 millimeters that they'd given me, then that would work, because instead of 3 millimeters worth of shims, I would have 0.6, 0.6, 0.18. So basically would shave off a millimeter and some change, which would have been perfect. So what my plan is right now, because this is going to be sandwiched, a 2020 will be sandwiched here, and a 2020 will be sandwiched here, is that once I get to that point, is I will just loosen this screw a little bit, a couple turns to make up for that 1 millimeter, which will basically let this small bearing stack float a little bit, like a millimeter, but that way the CNC plate will at least be parallel with that CNC plate. I think that will work fine. I don't know what else to do at this point other than wait on these parts, order smaller shims. But something tells me that as long as this guy can float, it will float in line with this one, since this one is rigid. I'm sure that Nero had 2 different bags of shims, one fat, one thin. Okay, we'll do a quick search here. I will take a salad, hun. That sounds lovely. Thank you. Hold on. I will take a moment here to do one final look over everything to make sure I have shims. Let's not do coffee. I don't think I need coffee. I need water. Okay. And it's just, we've already been using these shims as well. Oh, it doesn't really matter, I guess, for the Z, because it's a completely separate, as long as they're uniform and they fit, which they did. But let's just do a quick little look-see. So there's no parts on the ground. I had hardware sitting over here at one point. Some M5 hardware right there. We have got, I don't know what that is. We'll take a look at that. This is just cable chains, cable chains, cable chains, printed parts, printed parts, printed parts, LEDs, LEDs. What is this? Motor cables, so we don't need motor cables. Curious as to what this is. I don't see any sort of shims in here. Thank you. Thank you, Zero. I appreciate you, man. How are things going with you? Having the 2 outer touching and the middle one floating makes sense. That's exactly what I would do, to be honest. You have 3 contact points, so you can only have 2 actually touching. So you're saying if you were gonna do, like, if I wasn't able to find shims, you would do what I'm doing then in this case, which is basically just loosen this screw a couple of turns. It'll still be tight, but it'll be loosened, so that way I can get these clamped on the 2020, which will make sure that these are parallel. And I'll just tighten this down as much as I can, which will give it a little bit of slop or slack, you know, just because it won't be fully tightened up against here. But I think that that would be fine. I just don't know if we'll run into other issues because of this, but yeah, I don't know, like, all hardware. I never saw any other shims in this entire time. Let me, you guys don't need to just look at my arm. Steel balls, M3. I can't see why all shims would have been in the hardware bag, but one doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to say that I think, yeah, the only other things I've got that are M5 are M5 spring washers, which is not what we want. Oh, and yeah, there is no other. We got M3. We've got no, these are 3. These are what? M3, M4s. Yeah, I think we just move forward. I don't know. If it ends up being an issue, then I will have to swap out the bearings later. If you do that way, will the double bangs cause an opening wider than the extrusion? It's not a bad point. It's not a bad point. So what Troy is saying, like, is that if this shaft, these shafts, if that is the gap that is intended for these to fit on the extrusions, if this one's a little bit wider and I loosen this one to make it a little bit wider as well, won't that mean that it's not able to sit quite right on the extrusions because of that? Have you tried bolting it down on an extrusion? No, I have not. I was planning on doing the extrusion stuff off stream just because I don't have my quartz slab's upstairs, and I can't split the stream between upstairs and downstairs since everything's down here now. But no, I haven't even tried fitting it on here. So let's see. Hey, Armor. It's going, dude. There's just some silly stuff with this build, man. I appear to be missing shims, and so sizes aren't exactly working the way they should be. Okay, so let's just slide. I wonder if this was even the right call, or if I should have... How is this even going on? Yeah, it's got to be going on like this. It is not really fun trying to align this. I think almost I would rather take the T-nuts off, slide them in the extrusion, and then do this. Okay, why don't I just order the right shims? Why don't we just move forward? Forget the gantry today, and let's just do bed stuff. Where will the machine live? It's gonna live in the garage. What's the measure gap between the two surfaces that clamp to the extrusion? Well, that's tough to say. And that's a tough question to answer right now because my one stack is wider than the other, those aren't even values. Like if I go, watch, like let's do, hold on. So on this side, our gap is 19.6. And on this side, our gap is 21.2. So that 1 millimeter difference of the shim is causing a quite substantial incline or decline. So we ended up using a different size shim for the Z. I don't think it matters for the Z because each Z is independent. But for this, I am thinking, I'm a big fan of that stuff. Just purchased a custom 4040 frame. Oh my god. I know these are the only shims I have. I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm just gonna order the right shims. When they come in, I'll probably just build. I'll do some of this off stream. I'm not gonna make everyone rewatch me put these parts together. Granted, it's just the shims, but let me just order them right now. So we need. It called for someone said in CAD it called for 0.6. So let's see if we can find it on Amazon. M5 by 0.6 millimeter spacer. Nope. I feel like we could go with 0.5 and be fine with it. I think we're probably just gonna go with 0.5 millimeter. Yeah. We'll go with 0.5. 0.6 seems like a really odd. I can get these ones. M5 by 1. Nope, we don't want that. We want 0.5. Yeah, I'll just do 2-day. I can't open the CAD wrench. The CAD is massive, and for whatever reasoning, it just takes an eternity to open with Shaper 3D, at least on here. And I had to close it. Like last stream, it took 2 hours to open the CAD file. So I unfortunately won't have access to the CAD for quite some time, at least on here. M5. I can check for a shim kit too. M5. Jeez, I cannot type. Shim kit. These ones I can get by tomorrow. I'm curious to see what are the size. What's the outer diameter of the shims that came here? They're like 9 mil outer diameter. I think I'd rather go with smaller. I'm just gonna order the ones that I just saw, and then I'll probably look and see if I can find a good. Yeah, these ones. I'll find a good kit that comes with a bunch of different sizes. Hey. Cool, thank you. We're having shim problems. Looks so good, thank you. I'll show it off. Is the basil too? That's so exciting. Thank you. Do we think we'll have issues going with 1mm instead of 0.8? The plus side about the 1mm ones here is I can get them tomorrow. It is 100 pieces though. Where did you see 48? Oh, here we go, 48. That's 2-day though. One you just showed was 0.1, 0.2, and 0.5. Oh. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. But this is only, what, 12 of each? 12, 24. Yeah, this is only 12 of each. I don't think this kit comes with any precision shims. So I'm gonna just order, I'm gonna go with these, y'all. I'm gonna just do these. They're M5 by 1mm. Wait, no, that's not, it's not what I want. All right, I'm going back. Let's go. Here's the ones I saw. There we go. M5 by 8 by 0.5. I'm doing these. They'll be here on Friday. Let me order them really quick. Oops, let me change cam here. They'll be here Friday, and that way... Actually, hold on. It's got the wrong address. That's the right address. When will they be here? They'll be here Sunday. That's fine. That's fine. It's only a few days out. Oh, yeah. Sunday. Cool. Place order. Done. All right, so we've got shims coming, but we'll stick with the shims. Like, I'm not gonna do anything with the Z axis. I'm just gonna keep the whatever. They're not really shims, because when I think of shims, I do think of like precision shims. This kit didn't come with any. It gave me washers or spacers, washers. So we're gonna keep the Z as is with the ones that came with the kit and hope that's fine. But for the AB, I'm gonna be doing the skinnier ones because I think we're gonna run into issues. If the CNC plates aren't parallel and it's not clamping correctly on the aluminum, it just seems like you could print them. How do printed shims hold up though? And I feel like I think I've used printed shims before, but we're an hour and a half in and I feel like we've made no progress because of these stupid shims. All right, we're gonna get the bed. We're gonna start working on the bed. I am gonna take just 2 minutes to quickly inhale this. I gotta show you guys this, I'm quite proud. Oh yeah, so Aaron brought this out and all of the basil and all of the tomatoes are from the garden. I just picked the basil this morning. I'm very, very excited. Hey, Down Under. Yeah, homegrown. Not the, I mean, I don't have cows. But yeah, the tomatoes and the basil are homegrown. The tomatoes have been going just absolutely buck wild. I've ran vegetables over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 neighbors so far. 6 neighbors so far. This morning, I just picked our first bell peppers too. I won't eat all this. We'll just have a couple bites, and we'll start looking at bed stuff. Yeah, my biggest complaint with this build so far is, well, that was messy. My biggest complaint with this build so far is the instructions leave a lot open to interpretation and aren't very clear at all. And then parts, man, like they've got to figure out a better way of organizing parts and making sure that they're doing proper QC on the hardware. That's a cute little printer. A salad needs more. This is a caprese. We don't put avocado in a caprese. Thank you for checking the Z. Yeah, I think my game plan will be, I'll very likely, I don't know. We'll see what time looks like. Because I'm just thinking right now that the plan was today to get all these pieces done. So that way, between this week and next week, I can put them on the 2020 extrusions. And next week, we just install on the printer. So if I build these off stream, and then next week do like the XY joints, then I would either have to leave the stream and go upstairs and put them on the 2020s and come back down, or we couldn't do the gantry stuff, and we're gonna need to have the gantry stuff done. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. This is not going the way I expected it to today, which I should have expected. But, okay. I will return to this in like 5 minutes or so, but. All right, let's go to bed stuff. Oh God, we have to do the bottom. Okay, we don't have to flip the thing over, it doesn't look like. It just sits on top of it. But that does mean I have to move literally everything. Oh man. All right, we need lots of M3 button heads and M3 T-nuts. So let's at least keep those out. These are the M3 T-nuts. And we need lots of M3 button heads as well, which are where? They're M3 These are M3 M3 button heads. M36 button heads. Okay. I'm going to clean up everything else right this second because we have to be able to put these panels on. There goes this. I know. Yeah, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of every stream, for the most part, like putting everything back where it's supposed to be. So when it comes to those spacers, I would be willing to put money on that I wasn't the one that lost them and that the kit just, for whatever reasoning, it did not make it into my box. Unfortunately. Okay, these can go right there. Belts can go in here. Keep all the CNC pieces with the hardware as well. I think that makes sense. The only thing I'm not going to put back in here is the rest of these M5 little shim spacer guys. So let's close this up. Must be the British accent. Okay, so let's throw this out here. Rigid parts can go over here. Move these guys underneath here. Bearings can go back, or I'm sorry, motors can go back over here. Let's throw all of these guys. A couple random pieces of hardware that didn't make it back. Put them right here. Wait, yeah. We're using M3, yes, okay. Okay, let's, I don't know where to put this, man. I'm just gonna, no, we'll probably need this in a second, so let's just put it all. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Let's throw this box of... There's so many parts, man. It always feels good to get towards the end of a build for the sake of, like, you can find everything really easily. That's gonna fall. That's gonna be heartbreaking. Let's shove you guys right here for right now. Okay, so we need two very large bottom panel pieces. That's where we're at, right? This is where I would find 3 bags. I'm telling you, man, I looked for the shims early on in the build and I did not see anything other than what they sent me in the like extra bag of stuff. So are these our bottom pieces? I'm gonna say no, but might be. Yeah, this actually could be your bottom pieces. So let's see, there's a big slit thing in the middle. It looks like Okay, so I think this is actually right. I think that this guy goes right here. That cannot be. Maybe. Yep, I think that goes like that. And this goes like this? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Cool. Yeah, maybe. Why don't these align? It's because this one needs to be flipped. Like this. It seems right. Okay. Yeah, that seems right. Lost a screwdriver yesterday. The lottery of which parts you get got of someone else or someone gets yours. That sucks, man. It really sucks to hear. I know that when I started doing builds, I was told that FYSETC kits were questionable. I think it was FYSETC and FormBot, but that they had really improved on mine doesn't have all the holes that oh, mine does have holes there and there. They're just not pushed through all the way. So we'll have to do that as well. But they had like really improved things, so it's a bit of a bummer. So let's go ahead and peel this. Man, the printer is gonna look almost exactly the same at the end of the stream as it did when we started it. That's unfortunate. I had a weird feeling about today's stream. Just because like things were not going well with the setup for the stream and ran into a couple technical difficulties. It's alright though. We've had plenty of hiccups on the last years of building stuff live, so alright. That is going to get fingerprints all over it. I know a bunch of peeps who had the tool headboard go pop on the first power up. Well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I have to check, and if I apologize to them if they have, but they wanted me to get into a Discord. Hey, like you see car and stuff. They wanted me to get into a Discord like message with my contact and an engineer, which I did. And I asked a question like probably 3 weeks ago now regarding the printed parts, just verifying that they were PTG before I pretty much just came to the conclusion that they absolutely are PTG, and I never heard back. And I'm like, why did you guys want me to get into this group if no one was gonna even reply to me? Okay. Why does this sound so hard? There we go. Come on. All right. In the end, I'm confident that we will. Oh man, static and owning dogs, even in the garage, is not great. Well, it was clean for a few seconds. Now there's quite a bit of dust and dog hair on it. But that's how it go. All right, let's start placing these T-nuts all over the place. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None on that side? I can't. Huh, I guess there is none on the far side. That's interesting. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 8 per side. Are all the panels in multiple parts? Yeah, they are. Even the side panels are. I don't think any of the shipping boxes were big enough to... Oh, there's a screw in here. I probably should take that out before sealing it in here forever. Do I have a magnet somewhere? Do I have a flathead somewhere? Yeah, I've heard from quite a few people that the panels on this thing, not the bottom one, but the side ones, warp pretty heavily when it's heated up, especially after a handful of cycles. So I will probably, I mean, I don't plan on really, other than maybe for the sake of testing, plan on using this for ABS. So the panels for me really have always been just to keep dust and dog hair and stuff like that out of the printer. But I still may end up, depending on what I do with this printer long term, I may end up, sorry, I'm trying to, can't think and talk very well, redoing the panels. I've got a Shapeoko that has a 33-inch by 33-inch work area, so I don't know if I can single do them, but I can certainly cut out thicker panels. Okay, those are lined up. That did not push through. Yeah. What's going on here? There we go. No way did I get that perfectly aligned. I don't believe it. That's incredible. All right. It's going to be a leaky printer. Panels are supposed to keep heat inside. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a leaky printer, which is less than ideal when I think it's already going to be a struggle for this thing to get to temp, you know? I'm anticipating that this printer will work when done, but that to get it to really shine, it will require modding. That's what I'm anticipating. I mean, from what I've seen so far, I still think, like, if you were wanting a big printer, like a really big printer, right, that this still seems to be, even with the things we're running into, seems to be a better choice than, like, the Elegoo Gigastorm. I don't have the Gigastorm, so that's just kind of an assumption, but from what I've seen, that seems to be the case. That's at least close enough where I can align it with the, yeah, okay. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aligned. We need 2 more. Nothing a little duct tape. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're like, here's my printer. It's completely duct taped out. It's funny, duct tape is the one tape I don't own. It's a good tape. I haven't owned any in a while. Okay, this one also has a little bit of plastic, I think, sticking out the bottom. Please get off. There we go. Okay, I think we have got this panel relatively aligned. So let's do this. In 10 minutes, I'll open up the Polymaker giveaway as well. So we need, yeah, 8 of these. This thing needs 60 voltsy steppers and 20 in it. I'm hoping, like, if I can figure out the location of this, like, I'm thinking I'll probably build a cart similar to what Nero did, and like, once we have a shed in here, it'll be a lot easier to get all this crap out and maneuver it around. But I think I have a corner right here, like on the other side of this wall, where it could fit. So I'm hoping, like, I think it would be nice to have a big printer for random things. And if I can get index on it, it would be fun to experiment with. It'd be a lot of fun to experiment with. Okay, let's not go too tight. I do not want to crack this. Index with large and small nozzles would be ideal. Yeah, I mean, I would want index with the largest nozzle that it could take on it for just knocking out big things without lots of detail. But then I would like to have small nozzles as well, because there'll be times I want to do things like Q-Forge, or I don't know, just things that don't necessarily need to be massive. So a good variety of things. Okay. We got one panel just about on. Boom. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, we got a panel on. Gotta hit our button.
That was easy.
All right, let's change up the music. This music, like, I can't hear it very loud, but it's enough to not pump me up. There we go. Hey, it's Kinnick. The bottom panel with the 2 cutouts goes on the back right side of the printer. And a single notch is on the back side. Yeah, I got it. I did get it. We ran into a pretty good roadblock today. So I know that you got a really early batch, as did I. I don't know if yours came before mine. Mine was sitting for months before, like quite a few months before I even was able to touch it. Probably like 3 or 4 months, honestly. But they sent me that follow-up kit that you got as well, that came with like the fuses and some like missing parts and all that. But the issue I ran into is that I didn't receive any M5 shims in my kit, minus the M5 by 9 by 1mm ones that came in the missing parts kit. And so I didn't realize there was supposed to be a second size smaller shim. And so today, when we were trying to do these motor mounts, we ran into the issue that, for one, I didn't have enough shims, because I didn't get any with the kit outside of the, I don't know, 12 or so that maybe came with the bonus ones. But the issue I ran into, is it gonna focus? Yeah. So because I only have what they gave me, and also additionally 1mm shims here, when I put the 3 1mm shims on here, the final shim doesn't fit on the shaft. So it's basically just floating in the air, and then this screw here is what holds it in place. While on this side, the shim fits perfectly because it's just a single shim. And so these CNC parts are not parallel to each other because it's wider here, because it's not fitting, and skinnier here. So I tried thinking of ways that we could maybe just make it work, but ultimately I ordered like 100 half-millimeter thick shims, so I'm waiting on this. But the shims really screwed me, kind of. Yeah, they screwed me. And then the instructions, man, instructions just suck. I don't even know if I can say they're not good. Like they just suck. They're not very clear. There's wrong labels on things. The resolution on it is so low that when you click on anything, it still doesn't really do you any good. This whole layout right here doesn't mean anything to me. Like, the labeling is just bad. And then like this is as big as it gets, which is wild to me. And like, yeah, I mean, I could see it sort of, but it's just it's chaos, man. It's chaos. And then for whatever reasoning, Shaper 3D hates their file. So it takes like 2 hours to open it. So I can't even reference the CAD right now because I had to do a reboot. So it's been interesting, to say the least, man. It's been interesting to say the least. Well, I'm sure we'll end up getting it, but boy, do I think that there's room for improvement on the organization and explanation side of things. That's for sure. All right, let's get this other panel on. What materials have been using to succeed with a 0.2? I've played around with a 0.2 for all but maybe a week and was like, nah, man, I'm good. This was many years ago, so I figure like filaments have gotten better and that probably helped, but I don't know, it's so tricky. I feel like the main thing that I like it for is small text details. Small rebos are good with PLA. I had an annoying partial clog with ASA. Alright. Top parts off. Once I peel this bottom part off, I'll get the giveaway link open. I haven't paneled mine yet. Going to try and source local for some big panels. Gonna need them from winter because it gets cold. Yeah, no kidding. I've had at least, I don't know, I probably saw it on one of the review. Like, I don't usually watch videos on things I'm building or reviewing just because I don't want it to, like, I want to discover things on my own, and if I don't discover a thing, then that's fine. But with this printer, I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna see what's out there. So I've definitely seen at least one or two people mention that the panels are quite flimsy and like warped. So I know someone is redesigning them, and I was just saying a minute ago that I've got a 33-inch by 33-inch work area Shapeoko, but I don't know if that's going to be big enough to cut out full-size panels on this. I'm less like, granted, like with how difficult I think it's going to be to heat this thing consistently, I like the idea of panels for that as well, but my main thing is just keeping as much dust from like CNC machines and dog hair from getting inside of the machine, since it's going to be living in the garage. I don't think I'll really be printing, other than maybe for some testing. Like, it's primarily going to be a PLA and PETG printer for me. It's 900mm cubed. for the frame roughly. Curious to see. Let me see if I grab. Oh, I own a lot of tape measures, but they're never anywhere when I need them. I think I own like 5 or 6 tape measures, but like you'd think there'd be one in every room at this point. But when I need them, I can't find them anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. I was hoping to grab a tape measure and just see. You know what? I have a really long. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, I'll check later, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to do some thick panels on this. The bottom panels I don't think probably matter quite as much, but for sure the ones surrounding it. There's one in frame? Wait, what? No way. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, so at the max, I think the Shippoku does 33 inches, and this looks like I'll need like 34 and some change if I want to go from the outside of the frame. That sucks. If I wanted to go from the inside of the frame, I can get away with 32 inches. That's kind of annoying. Thank you, Alan. I'm gonna leave it there. That way, if there's any point I need a tape measure, someone can see it for me. Thank you. It's hilarious. Okay, yeah. Let me get the giveaway link open. Ooh, ah. Post it over here. Go to channel, pin message. Okay, giveaway link is pinned. Yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it, but if you have not hit the like button, please do. Smack it. Okay, let's do this. Once I get this bottom panel on, I'm definitely gonna eat the rest of that salad. Though it's starting to sound really good before it gets too hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, I need a smaller Allen key. Where is the baby one? Let's see if this might work. Oh, yeah, it might. That'll work. Yeah. Oh wow, there's a bunch more screws in the slots. Let me take those out really quick. Break this. There we go. All right, throw those off to the side. Nope. Aligning these is not my favorite activity, I will say that. Okay. Okay, we got that one. How many times do we have to tell you that slots are not screw storage? I don't know if I might have put them there intentionally, but I feel like it was probably an accident. Like maybe they felt, I don't know. It probably was me. I'm gonna miss having all that space underneath here for kind of like staging stuff, because granted I can still put hardware on these panels, but it's just gonna get really messy and greasy and fingerprints all over it. So I don't know. I don't think, maybe I'll put like a cardboard box in a corner of here, or like a cardboard, some kind of a mat down where I can use it to stage parts for the rest of this build and not have them just sitting directly on the acrylic. We'll see. Sounds good to me. Okay. 5 in. Okay, 2 more. Let me switch camera for this. Just go around. Well, listening to you in the background, I just got 98% on my last quiz. Dude, we're doing some sound effects for that. Congratulations. How far out are you now? Like how much time do you have left in school? That's exciting. As much as I don't love traditional school because it just, I don't know, I'm a spaz and it has never really been my thing. Like I love learning, but just like classroom and traditional school. But I will say, like, the times in my life where, are we missing? Okay, I only see, maybe this side only has 7 screws. Sorry, I got distracted. We had 8 on the other side. Does this side only have 7? The times that I have studied really hard for a quiz or test and like done well on it, it is a pretty damn good feeling. Alright, hotbed components. Is there just 7 on this side? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's only 7. Alright, well, go figure. Hey, what's up, Nice? Too much. I'm hoping to graduate next winter. Okay. That's still, I mean, yeah, it's still a ways out, but still, you're moving along, man. Aaron's doing pretty good, man. We had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and it went relatively well. There was nothing super concerning. We had a ultrasound 2.5 weeks ago, and biggest concern probably is that the baby is in the 99th percentile weight-wise, so it's a big baby. So we have concerns about that. We have our final ultrasound next week, so based on how the baby's progressed over the last month, that'll kind of give us an idea of kind of what to expect, I suppose. And then the baby also, the ultrasound showed that the one side of the, I want to say it's the urinary tract tube, was swollen to twice the size of what they like to see. So they don't know whether it's like something gastro related or if it's a partial blockage, like if there's something blocking it. So they basically told us that once baby's born, baby will have to get a ultrasound at the hospital. Well, that's not a word. At the hospital before we leave, so they can basically figure out what the cause is and get us over to a specialist. Yeah, they basically said that, like, although they can see it through Aaron's ultrasound, they can't get enough clarity or detail without ultrasounding the baby directly. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks, Nice. I appreciate it, man. Luckily, the stuff I'm doing right now has a lot to do with Excel, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. Oh God, I hate Excel. I do use spreadsheets like a fair bit, but I am not, like, when it comes to formula, like, I'm not good with them. I find them incredibly useful for organizing data, but yeah, I'm just not good. But yeah, I mean, dude, everyone needs a spreadsheet wizard, so. All right, I'm gonna inhale my salad really quickly. But yeah, last week, I don't know if you saw, but last week we didn't do the stream nights just because Aaron wasn't feeling good at the beginning of the week, and then Jackson came down with a fever and sickness Tuesday night, or yeah, just Tuesday. And so I was up with him all night to try to let Aaron rest, and was just dead on. I hadn't like slept by Wednesday morning, and so I was just exhausted. And then these are messy. And then I ended up getting sick, and I was sick for probably two pretty bad days, and then 2 days where it was like the like the aftermath of being sick, where you're not quite as bad, but like you still just feel not great. My wife is a forensic accountant. She watches me in Excel and gets really frustrated. That's hilarious. Nice! Thank you for the 38 months, man. Cheers. Thank you for all the support. Isn't having kids terrifying? Yeah, there's so much good, but there's definitely a lot of like, there's a lot of unknown and additional things, you know. We're hoping for the best, you know, that's all we can do. Also, hi Deanna. I didn't see you in chat. Trying to eat this quickly, but having a hard time getting the tomatoes on. I think Jackson might be awake. Yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things where certain things are out of your control. Oh my goodness. Come here, baby. Oh. You stand up. Say hi to everybody. Camera. Is that your robe? Night, you woke up? Yeah. It's really reflective, huh? You see that? What is that? You got it? Ooh, that fingerprints all over it already, buddy. It's static electricity, buddy, so it's really stuck down. Hey, look, you can get your hands all over it. Lift your hands off. Move your hands. Look at that, dude. That's a big handprint. You see that? That's from your hand. No. We don't want to purposefully do that. Everyone's saying hi to you, Jack. They're saying hi. You say hi back? No, you want to sit? He wants to sit. What? Oh. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but Aaron said that he woke up, came out down the hall, like rubbed his eyes, and was just like, "Dad? Dad?" Is that true?
Let's put your robe on so you're not hurt.
Is that true? Is that what you did? Yeah. What's that camera? Another camera, huh? Does Jack know this is really a prison for when he gets to frustration 4s? Is this gonna be where you're gonna live? You gonna live inside here? Yeah? We'll put your bed in here? Yeah. He says yeah, so he's on board. Oh. Daddy's gotta get back to work. Oh. You okay? Daddy's gotta get back to work. You can say bye-bye, everybody? Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much for visiting. Oh. Bye-bye, camera. Yeah. 2 cameras, huh? Uh-huh. When you're a little bit older, are you gonna follow Daddy around with the camera? Yeah. Cameraman Jack? I'll say everybody wave to Jack behind the camera. Yeah? Okay. Alright. Here you go, bud. That's dirty, bud. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? Okay, panels are on. What are they doing? Finishing my salad. Okay. What, baby? You're gonna get milk? That's a great idea. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit, bud. Yeah, he's a big guy. A Jack. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, dude, that's not a child. That's a little man right there. 15 more minutes on the giveaway, everybody. He'll be editing, but that'd be so nice. That'd be so. He seems to be a night owl, which I know he's 2, right? Like, so we'll see when he's older. But he seems to be a night owl. He like seems to wake up pretty like late at night. Well, he goes to bed late for starters. He's been going to bed like between 10 or 11 because he just won't sleep otherwise, unless it's really late. He'll just freak out and keep leaving his room for hours. But he seems to be like being up late, and I was like, dude, when you're a little bit older, if you end up being a vampire like your dad, we can hang out at night and you can help daddy with stuff and we'll work on projects. I'm like, I'm super excited. So nice. Thank you so much for the memberships, man. What do we do today? I wonder what's for dinner. Probably leftover pizza, because that's what we had for lunch yesterday and ordered a lot. All right. Yeah, it's been pretty late. We had him going to bed at 10 for a really long time. And then his sleep schedule just completely flipped. Like, it went from having a sleep schedule to like, we don't have a sleep schedule anymore, because he will come out of his bed a million times for hours if we try to get into bed early. And so now it's like a mix of some days he doesn't nap at all, which is wild. And some days he does nap, but we've noticed like when he naps, he's up super, super late. And when he doesn't nap, like sometimes we can get him to bed by like 9:30. But yeah, a lot of times lately it's like we try to start winding down by like 9:30. By the time he's actually in bed, it's like 10, and then he comes out of bed. Most days, like anywhere between like 3 to 5 times. And that's usually over the course of the next half an hour to 40 minutes. So yeah, by the time he's actually asleep, it's like 11. And then he was on a pretty consistent streak of waking up like at 2 o'clock, because I'd be upstairs working, get done working at like 1:45 or 2, go sit on the couch downstairs, and like clockwork, door opens, he comes out, and I'm like, hey Jack, and he just walks down the hall at 2 in the morning. So flip schedules happen a bunch. It sucks when you have 2 kids on opposite schedules. Oh, homemade lasagna? That sounds delicious, dude. Okay. Well, that's next. We got our panels on... Yeah, I freaking love... Lasagna's up there for me, as far as, like, favorite meals. Hotbed assembly. Aluminum plate. Silicone heating pad. Insulation cotton. Magnetic stickers. Thermal fuses. Okay, glue the silicone heating pad to the back of the hotbed in the center. Do the installation of the silicone heating pad. Geez, so we're gonna just basically be doing a bunch of bed prep. Okay.
Baby gift fund, red heart emoji.
I walked away right as I heard something. All the beds. What was that? Aw, nice. Thank you so much for the donation, baby gift fund. I appreciate it, man. We are... I feel like we're doing pretty good because we have so much stuff from Jack. We have quite a bit of stuff left over, but we are getting a new crib. Jack basically destroyed the crib because of how intense his teething was. He just ate a lot of his crib, so we weren't sure whether we were going to keep his crib or not. And then my aunt reached out and basically said that she wanted to gift a crib. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's definitely small things. Before you do that, I would drill out the holes for the magnetic sheets. Got it. Where are the aluminum plates? I'm assuming it's in here. I see no plates there. I see insulation. This must be it, yeah. Okay, so let me grab... Let me not do it on here. I don't want to set these directly on the acrylic. They're pretty heavy and I'm sure it'll scratch it. So let's grab this insulation stuff. And then we will attempt to open this. How did they do this? It's gotta be a seam. Oh wait, they're not. There we go. They're not actually stuck together. Oh, they like shrink wrap this? I thought it was just going to be a sort of simple sticker to get off, but this, unless I'm just doing this wrong, it doesn't, it seems like they really wrapped it. How many more streams for this one? Oh god. I couldn't tell you, Collie. Many more streams. I'll try to, I don't know, I'll probably try to do some stuff off stream, and then once the baby comes though, like I won't be able to do any like prep or proactive stuff. I scrubbed my beds with green pad and acetone before I applied any of the adhesive. Yeah, I'll probably use just some paper towels and isopropyl alcohol. But I'll definitely at least do that before I do the adhesive stuff. It's absolutely a good call. All the streams, yeah, it'll be a while. But as far as numbers go, like I don't know. I thought today we were gonna get much further, and then the shims totally threw a wrench in my plans. So it depends on how many situations we run into like that. But I think I definitely will do some stuff off stream for this, just to kind of help move things along a little bit. Dude, what in the world, man? This, I don't know what kind of wrap this is, but it does not come off very clean. There we go. I hope not. I hope it hasn't. Hopefully not that long. I just don't want to. I just don't want to put out a number and like jinx it and have it take way more than my expectations. I'm also like, if there's anything I've proven to myself over so many builds, is that I have no idea how long things take. They take as long as they take. Okay. So looks like we've got 6 holes. I imagine we don't need holes for all of them. Probably just the 4 corners. I also highly recommend installing the acrylic on the side of the electronics. I also highly recommend... What is the reference from, Maurice? I don't know exactly. I also highly recommend installing the acrylic on the side of the electronics enclosure before putting the enclosure up. Wait, I also highly recommend installing the acrylic on the side Before putting the enclosure up and wiring it, it's way harder after. So you're saying put the acrylic panel on the side of the frame where the electronics box is going before that? Oh, you're talking about Titanic? I'm pretty sure I saw Titanic in theaters. I have like I'm almost positive when I was young. But yeah, I probably haven't seen Titanic in 25 years. Okay, so what I'm likely gonna do is just place this. Let's see, so can you drill through this? Like, can you effectively get through this? This is a pretty hard top magnet. Is it even feasible? What I usually do is mark a center hole and then use a punch and a mallet to pop it through. The manual says do it way later, it's way harder with electronics package. Got it. Okay. 4 more minutes and we'll do the giveaway. My wife told me the other night she hasn't seen Titanic. How did she get out of the 90s? You didn't put holes in because you just needed to adjust the beds. I used a drill. Got it. I've sent a GIF on Discord. I feel like I can picture the GIF. Let me look at it. That's why when you said it, I was like, I know that. Yeah, 100%. It's been. I have seen that GIF before. I didn't know that's where it was from. That is wild. I bet you Erin would know. She's the movie buff of the house who just knows movies. 1 viewing of Titanic was enough for me. We already know how it ends. And 2, shoot out while the ship is sinking. Okay, so what I will do then is I think I will flip this over like this. So it's on the bottom side. Do my best to center this. And then I wonder if it's gonna be tough to get much through there. I wonder if I have anything stabby. Like, I guess maybe a small drill bit would work, right? Just to push down and make an initial mark. This will probably work. Maybe even this isn't so small, but it should still work. Okay. I use a small drill bit, then a countersink bit to clean it up. I don't have a countersink bit, but I do have a small drill bit. Okay, hopefully that's enough of a mark where I can... I think I'll make the marks right now, and then after stream I'll move this somewhere and actually do the drilling. We'll just kind of prep this as best as I can. I want to buy or build something with a great tool changer. I've been enjoying the ProForge. I really have. I don't know if it's big enough for quite what you want, but I will say that I have really been enjoying it. Still waiting on the replacement screen though. Yeah, I mean, the index seems really rad from what little I've seen of it. I'm hoping it ends up being a sort of like the least hassle version of getting tool changing. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. Most hassle-free. It's supposed to come out in November, right? Isn't that... I feel like I just read that somewhere, someone talking about it. Okay, one more minute and I'm gonna remove that link. Okay, so yeah, right now all I'm doing, everybody, is just basically putting a little mark in all the spots that I'll need to drill with quite a bit larger of a drill, so that way I can pass screws through the magnetic sheet to hold the bed in place. Allegedly November. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it gets delayed. I feel like that's sort of just the way most things go, but especially in the 3D printing land, it is not common for things to actually come out when they're supposed to. Which is fine. I would rather things take the right amount of time than be rushed. Okay, I'm gonna remove the link. Oops, almost whacked my head. What am I doing? I am removing link. Okay, so if you're filling out the giveaway form, you've got another minute here. I'm gonna do the last holes. Definitely not perfectly centered with these, but as long as I go with a large enough drill bit, I think it'll be fine. Okay, that should be good enough. Alrighty, y'all. Let us do this giveaway. Whew. I'm gonna drink some water after this too. I'm feeling hot. It is 90 degrees. Week is supposed to be a little bit cooler too, and still somehow managed to get 90. It's the cameras and computer and light and all that stuff. It generates a lot of heat. 96 replies, nice. Very cool. Control Z. Control V. Awesome, got everybody. 63 likes on it. If you have not hit the like button, please do so right now. All right, let's do this. Desktop. There's the spinning wheel. I'm gonna have a quick sip of water, then we'll do this. My 2.4 is equipped with box turtle, but I want to keep it. You want to keep it, like, you don't want a tool changer, is what you're saying? You want to leave it how it is? All right, y'all. So there's definitely a few new people in this week's stream, which is super cool. But the way the giveaway works is it is a global giveaway from Polymaker. If you are in the US or Canada, you will win a gift card. If you're outside the US or Canada, then you can pick any spool of filament off their website up to $35 US, I think, approximately. So I might be slightly off, but that's approximately it. The winner will get an email from me within the next 24 hours. That email will contain a form as well as a unique code that you'll need to fill out in order to get your spool or gift card. So thank you to Polymaker for letting us do these giveaways. They are really an awesome company. And if you are wanting to pick up some Polymaker filament and support the channel at the same time, there is a link in the description that will do so. And each purchase does give the channel some kickback. So it is very appreciated. On the, I have a box of Fentrix, but it's been a pain getting them to work together. So going to Infinity Flow instead. Okay, let's do this. How many times are we shuffling? We're like 31 days away from due date, so there's that. We're like 5 weeks out, so number 5 would be significant. I don't know. What? Let's see, we got 7s, we got 9s. 23 times 3 is far too many for me. Yeah, I'm glad we're able to do it at GTR. It's super cool. Like I know, like I say on every stream, thank you to them for letting us do it, and maybe it sounds like, all right, saying it again, but like, no, I'm appreciative. Like, it's been years of them doing this, but it's awesome. They don't have to, and it's super cool to be able to just give out a roll of filament every single week. Boy, that's a lot of numbers with no real patterns. We are gonna go with Dominic's choice today with 11. 11 sounds, I don't know why I'm feeling 11 today. Not feeling 11 age-wise, but like, I'm feeling the number 11 today. Anyways, wait, what? No, I clicked on the ad. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Good luck to everybody. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 8 for how many months long? I guess that is another number that we could have done. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Deanna! No way! No way, please tell me you're here.
I wonder.
Wait, I'm hitting all the buttons. Deanna. Tell me she's here. I told you, yeah, you won! I swear. Look! Look! There's your name! There's your name! I swear, this is not a prank. It was lucky number 11. Congratulations. Deanna has been saying for years now that she never wins and she's super unlucky, and we've had people win like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, no, Deanna, your day will come. You will win. This was fair and square. It landed on your name. So congratulations. You are in the US, so you will get a gift card. I'll just end up sending you an email. I'm not really doing Discord messages for the winners anymore, so I will send you an email, and yeah. Congrats. My first time losing. Yeah, congratulations. That's when I said your name at first, I was like, oh no, maybe it's gonna roll past it, but once it landed on it, that's incredible. All right, 8/6/25. You got to mark it on your calendar as the day you won. Yep, this is it. If she ever says it again, I'll be like, that's not true, Deanna. Remember on 8/26. What did I say? 8/6. Remember on 8/6. Go buy a lottery ticket. Oh, that's awesome. Deanna's just like consistently now, like just every week. I'm like, all right, it's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna happen, but it's been like years. So I'm very happy for Deanna. Thank you everybody for entering in, and we will do the same thing next week at the same place at the same time. I'm not all sure what else we can really do today. I'm gonna end up drilling out these beds to make them fit the screw size, but I don't feel like drilling right now. I want to set up like a nice spot for drilling. We need shims to continue on the gantry. I think we could take a couple minutes to just kind of like look at thank you for making me wonder. I cannot take credit for that, Deanna, but I appreciate it, and you know, I'm very happy for you. So is Hobo. Thank you for the 18 months, Hobo, with the congratulations, Deanna. We're all very happy. I was rooting for you while it was spinning. That's why you won. Yeah, I think a lot of us are rooting for you, Deanna. All right, so let's just take a look at the rest of this build stuff. I haven't looked very far ahead. So gantry stuff, obviously we started today, and the main hiccup was those washers. Basically just creating two of the same thing. And then we've got this other guy here. So two of the same, or roughly two of the same thing. I mean, there's some slight variants. AB idlers. Man, maybe we do just build all these next week? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like, if I do all this myself off stream, hotbed. We did that. We did that. We're currently at this. We need to cut those out. So basically, just it's gonna be a lot of adhesive, fuse installing, standoffs. I'll definitely, okay, so I'll definitely get the beds done before next week. I wonder if I will actually do this or if we'll do this together. I don't know. What's next after that? Okay, so next we're on Stealth Burner after that. We'll see. I'm not sure. My plan is definitely get the hotbed stuff. I've got that all right now, but we might end up be building the gantry components next week, which is what I thought we were going to do this week. And then after that, I will have it in place. So the following week, we'll be doing the Stealth Burner. That's probably what's going to happen. Is I'll do hotbed by next week. Next week, we'll do what I thought we were going to do today, which is all the gantry stuff. And then between that week and the following week, I'll put it on the extrusion, on the 2020 extrusions. And then, yes, I think that's what I'll do. So next week is gantry components. I'll have hotbed done. And then the following week will be toolhead stuff. Because once we're done with toolhead stuff, we're basically at drag chains, which is a whole section, which should be quick. Putting casters on it, which I don't know if I'm even going to do. I don't know if I'm doing that, because this probably isn't going to live on the ground. So, I think that's the game plan. We could build the toolhead. I haven't reprinted all the parts out down under. I still have to print a handful of pieces. I printed out quite a few on the S1, but there were all the parts that had overhangs warped, not warped, just looked really bad. So I still need to print out some parts for that. Gosh, I hope not. Nice. Not by next week, man. I think it was a popular win. Now to decide how many spools I'll need to buy to keep the free one company? Free one company? Oh, to keep it, got it, keep it for it. Yeah, I hope not. Nice. The baby isn't due for, like, if it goes full term, it's not due for 31 days. And the struggle we're running into is the hospital this time is like 3 times as far as the hospital with Jackson, because the doctor we had with Jackson retired, and the new doctor we chose because he was at that hospital, but on our first or second visit, he's like, hey, they moved me to the one 3 times the distance away. So with Jackson, it was like an 8 or 9 minute drive. With this one, it's like, if there's no traffic, maybe 30 minutes. So the struggle was going to be like, Jackson probably can't be at the hospital the whole time. So we were going to try to leave Jackson with one of the neighbors. And then I was going to come home 2 or 3 times a day to let the dogs out, because one of our dogs is aggressive, and then check on Jackson. But her sister, Aaron's sister, and sister's baby basically said that they were going to come out. So we were going to buy them a one-way flight out here, and then basically just they can stay as long as they want. And she was awesome. She was here for Jackson's birth and was so helpful. So I really, we're both really excited to spend time with her and also have the help, but she probably won't be able to be out here until the 27th. So I'm hoping that if he comes early, it's not more than a week or week and a half early. So that way she's out here and we're not struggling. So we'll see. Hey, Nadir. If you wait for a special, the vouchers are probably almost paid for 2 PLA spools. Yeah, I have a printer that I would like to unbox, and I wanted to do a stream on it, but I don't know how we'd be able to do it. I don't want to move the computer and cameras back upstairs until we're done with this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get all of the desktop and all the wires and all the keyboard, mouse, monitors, cameras, camera hookups. Like, it's a lot. So, and I don't think we can build it out here. We might be able to. I'm just thinking right now, if we can actually roll this. Yeah, I don't know. Unbox inside the frame. I worry if it wasn't for the acrylic, I feel like we probably could do it. I'm concerned if I put cardboard down and some padding, we could potentially get away with it. But that'd be such a weird stream. You know this will happen now. You saying I jinxed myself? I hope not. They do often flash sales unbox, but you'll be fine. Unbox inside the XL. Yeah, I got the Flash Forge sent over their new multicolor printer. They A5DX, is that right? They've been talking to me about it for like 10 months at this point. I think it's the A5. Is that right? It is right. I got it right. Yeah, this is what is sitting in my hallway right now. Which seems really competitive. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like it's saying you get 4-color printing and a Core XY for $369, which seems really scuff vertical stream from phone. I'll just that'd be so jank. I don't know, man. Like because like I get that, you know, the streams, I'm happy with the streams, but like I still feel like it'd be nice if I had more camera angles and like other stuff going on with them. But like I don't think that I could go. I'd have a hard time settling for just a phone camera vertical stream unless it was like some kind of on the road vlog thing or like showing something off in an event. That would be my exception to it. Yeah, it's actually a lot cheaper than I thought that it was. And I know they sent me like an enclosure kit thing for it as well. Yeah, I don't know how well it works. I will say, like, in general, I feel like FlashForge has been a company that seems to get slept on. Like, the machines I've used from them have been pretty solid. Like, they really have. So I don't really know why they don't seem, excuse me, they don't seem to get the popularity of other machines. But I am very curious about this. It looks like they're kind of using so like these look really similar to what the A1 Mini and A1 uses on like the elliptical style AMS light. These little spool gripper things in the center. And then it looks like in that picture I just saw, I don't know what the heck the box thing is actually. I don't know, this box is kind of tricky. So I think like the issue I think a lot of companies have with doing 5-color for a changer like that is just space. Like to have 5 rolls, like if you took the AMS and added, just trying to look, I think I've got an AMS box. It's too far away. Yeah, I think it's just the size. Like for example, on this printer, if they wanted to do 5, I don't know how they could. Can you guys? Oh, you guys are looking at me. I don't know how it would fit, basically. And then on the AMS, like here, there's nowhere to put a fistful. I mean, granted, they could add something to this side, but then it would kind of look crazy, like it would look wild. But like on this setup, I don't see how you could add a 5th. On the AMS, I would say you could do it, but it would make it really wide, and I don't think it would fit on the standard P1S top anymore. You'd have to like, so I think size is a big issue with anything. Why nobody's building the open source AMS compatible clipper adaptable on every printer? You mean like box turtle or something else? I'm curious. I'm gonna be building a new tool head for the 2.4, and I'm curious to see how my box turtle experience is with that. I'm also swapping away from the E3D Easy Peasy probe to, I think, Beacon. Either Beacon or an alternative eddy current probe, but probably Beacon. They have a demo unit of A5DX at Ecovate 3D. It prints pretty well, and I've run a few test prints. Nice. Nice, nice. I'm thinking I might be able to do a 5 tool index on my 250 2.4. I have no, like, that sounds like a lot of tools on a 250 millimeter build volume printer, but I also don't know the dimensions of the index tool head. What I remember seeing, they were like fairly tall, but not very, like the depth and the width wasn't very much. So maybe it would fit. I just don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping that with the new tool head setup that's kind of built for like filament swapping using things like box turtle as well as Beacon, that I can just start using that more. I do need to figure out though, because like I think I would like to set up the purge and kick stuff with the 2.4 and clipper and box turtle versus just doing the purge towers like I've been doing. They showed 2 tools on the V0, maybe 3. Okay, so it is fairly compact then. I do remember actually seeing that. I think it was 3 tools, GPs. Hey Tiago, you can do 5 index. Oh, that's insane. If the new narrow heads are a reality. Okay, then yeah, if that's the case, then Deanna would have no problem. She'd have no problem. There was 4 tools on that one. Got it. That's still ridiculous. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just 3. All right, y'all. I think we're gonna call it, man. It's just not. Oh, Chuck. Sorry, Tiago. Just showing up. It's just not comfortable, man. At 90, sitting in 90.5 degree weather in here is starting to get to me. I'm definitely bummed that we didn't get further today. Like after missing last week's stream, I really was hoping that we would get at least all the pieces done for the gantry so that way I could put that together. But depending on how the next week goes, like I will absolutely have these beds all done and mounted by next week's stream. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the gantry stuff or if I'm gonna wait on the gantry till next week's stream. It just depends on a lot of stuff, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm definitely doing the beds, Tuxedo. I just don't know, like, it's quite a bit to do all the gantry pieces, and I don't know that I'll even have the time to do it. And if I partially do it, I don't know if that's helpful, because if we do the rest of the, well, it could be, because even if I just do the motor mounts off stream, because that's like the one part of it that we started, and we do the AB joints and XY, or like the joints and the idlers on stream, and I'm not able to do the 2020s on stream because I have to take it upstairs, we could still have those pieces done and then move on to start building Stealth Burner. And then off stream, I could do the 2020 extrusions, get that set up, and we can continue the following week with mounting Stealth Burner moving forward. So we'll see. I'll play it by ear and just kind of see like how this week goes with just everything around here. I feel like every day right now is quite unpredictable, and maybe do one side of the gantry off stream so you can do the faster on stream. One side of gantry off stream. Got it. You mean for the 3 different parts, just like for the idler, do one idler, do one motor mount, and do one AB joint. Nero seems to be happy with his Venture XL. Yeah, I know that he also reprinted out the toolhead parts in ABS, which is kind of a requirement. I don't even know if I'd call that an upgrade, like it's sort of a requirement, just fixing an oversight. And then he swapped over to a Rapido V2 high flow or ultra high flow or something like that. And then he popped into the stream earlier actually and said that he didn't put panels on his yet, and he's looking at, I think he said, sourcing panels locally. That way they're just thicker panels. So But outside of that, it seems like it's been working well. I know he posted some spider webs. I know that he posted some photos of some pretty big prints he's done on it, and they looked solid. It didn't look bad to me, so. But yeah, I think we'll call it here, everybody. I'm gonna go in and chill for a bit. Like I said, I apologize that we just didn't get as far as I wanted to, and then it was kind of a crazy, all over the place stream today, but just kind of where my head's at right now. So thank you all for coming and hanging out. Thank you to our new members, our existing members, gifted members. There's a handful of donations that came in today. Thank you to Polymaker for letting us do our giveaway. I gotta say, we gotta do one more congratulations for Deanna, because like, I told Deanna when she won I would do a headstand, and I can do a headstand. I don't want to do it in the garage. I'll probably, Deanna, I'm giving you a headstand card that you can call in when one time when we're streaming back upstairs again. I want to do it on carpet in case I fall over. Just so I don't want to fall over on concrete, man. Yeah, but thank you everyone for hanging out, and we will pick up next week. And I promise we will be further along when we start next stream than we are ending today's stream. So. I bet you know a guy to laser them. Yeah, I'm sure a couple of my coworkers have lasers big enough. It's the shipping of the panels that's kind of the most concerning. Headstands can be dangerous. I'll settle for a virtual. Perfect. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your week. I do have a video coming out this week. It will be out on Saturday. I am happy that I got it done, and I'm happy with the video. It was a fun video. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, and I will catch you all next time. Take care, all. Bye.